Yashua, Rivka, David, Elaine, Jacoby. All of those 7 children is clearly an indicator why this must come out with a strong response for us. When we look at the stats, Brooklyn has almost 30% of the fires that takes place in the city. As a large borough with 2.6 million people, we have a large number of fires, and when you look at the recent fires that occurred in the borough of Brooklyn, and there were fatalities, many of them had indicators of no smoke detector being there. This simple device, if it's hung on the ceiling, if it's placed properly, each year we talk about testing the battery. We announced the battery check earlier this year. If we utilize this simple device, we can change lives. And so our office is asking 2 things today. One, we're going to roll out a major initiative where we're using a campaign with simple information of showing individuals a proper way of fire safety. A lot of this information is available, but it's not reaching many people, and so we are going to conduct a street campaign. The sign will be placed in English, Yiddish, and Spanish, and we're going to look at some of the other ethnicities. 47% of Brooklynites speak a language other than English at home, and so we want to translate this in as many languages as possible, and then go out and have fire ambassadors to go and knock on doors, hand these flyers out at shopping malls, train stations, where people gather to get the information out. Second thing is we're calling for a burn center here in the borough of Brooklyn. You can't have the largest borough in the city of New York go without a burn center. There's a burn center on Staten Island. There are 2 located in Manhattan, 1 located in the Bronx. No burn center in 2 of the largest counties, the counties of Queens and the county of Kings. We need to move in a direction to have the burn center. I am going to be reaching out to the hospitals in Brooklyn, ask them to send proposals to me, and wherever I can use my capital dollars and allocate those capital dollars to a burn center, I want to do that. We cannot continue to have victims who are suffering from burns and fire-related injuries transported outside the borough for care. That cannot continue to happen. We'll be reaching out to our state legislators in the city of New York to come up with a plan to finally get a burn center here in the borough of Brooklyn, which is the largest borough in the city of New York.
About 17 years ago, I had a fire on my electric stove. It was during Passover, and the stove was in flames. And I heard the smoke detector ringing, that annoying sound. And I woke up my wife, I went to my children's bedrooms, and I grabbed, at the time, 2 out of my 3 children. And I grabbed the phone, 911. I started moving to my 3rd child's bedroom and couldn't find them. So I ran downstairs, dropped my kids off, and I found my 3-year-old enjoying a large flame and watching that flame only several feet away. I quickly grabbed a fire extinguisher, which I had in my house, unplugged the electric stove from behind, and extinguished the flames. That annoying sound, that same sound that might wake you up in the morning, is probably the reason why my family is here today.
The reality is that the single easiest and cheapest thing you can do to save your life is to make sure you have a functioning fire detector. They retail for around $10. That's a very good deal. For $20, you can actually get a fire detector that has a 10-year battery life on it, so you don't even have to change it. But equally important is if you don't change the battery in these fire detectors, the fire detectors are worthless. If all you get out of this press conference and out of this tragedy is to make sure that in your homes you have working fire detectors, at the very least 1 on each floor, and to actually test them and to make sure they have batteries, then we will have achieved something today. And I certainly want to agree with our great borough president and our outstanding public advocate and other elected officials who are here today that we absolutely need, it's come from the time that we need a burn center here in Brooklyn, and I'm certainly going to work together with our borough president to do everything that I can to support that as well. I want to thank, once again, all the community leaders who are out here, all the elected officials, FDNY, NYPD, Sala, and Shomrim, who are all incredibly active on that fateful morning, Saturday morning.
Jeder einer darf haben in der Heim a smoke detector. To save lives and this is kunas nefushes, meaning whoever doesn't have a smoke detector at home is putting his wife and kids and entire family life in danger. You need to have this before you pay your grocery bill, your electric, or your gas. This is the first thing before you walk in to make sure that your fire smoke detectors are working properly.
And just as we mourn together as a city, we will heal together as a city. So many organizations and volunteers have already come together over the weekend to provide support. And the tears that we shed yesterday know no race, no ethnicity. They're tears for 7 babies. And all of us can understand that